Let's piece these broken pieces together. All right, guys, Fumble Podcast, episode 18. I got a friend here from my teenage years in Maryland, D.C. area. The last time I saw this person must have been in 2003. We we had we had a lot of wild, crazy times as kids doing stupid things and
Yes, we
and
did.
and wrestling in my parents' basement, which led to this big man's size 16 heel connecting to my left eye and closing up, and while trying to act like professional wrestlers where we were not even amateur. so
Not even.
so anyway, that's a distinct memory I had, but we laugh now because it was truly just so funny. Him, myself, Anush, and a few of our other friends. So shout out to those guys. Omid, all we're all grown men now, but
Yes.
at the time we were all maybe 15 to 17 years old. Um anyway, my good friend, we're going to get into a lot of things, and an incident that took place in 2004 that led to his arrest and serving, being sentenced to 30 years behind bars. And that friend is my good old friend, Jason Coley. What's going on, bro?
Not much, man. How are you?
I'm well. It's funny because I goofed, and had already started this episode, and it's on me. The recording didn't start, so 5 minutes in, I'm like, "Sorry, bro, we're gonna have to reshare that story." So it's gonna be better when it's said again, because the story truly is very interesting, and I just like the audience to listen to this entire story with an open mind and an open ears, because it truly is. And we're not excusing what happened. We know there was wrongdoing on Jason's part there,
Yeah.
but at the same time, he's paid for those wrongdoings. He's done the time, and we're going to go over what happened, as well as talk about his time behind bars, and what he learned while he was doing his time, and where he's at now that he's been released. Which, by the way, he messaged me on Instagrams about a couple months ago, and this was legitimately, I want to say 17, 18 years after the last time I saw him in DC. And um, I was pleasantly surprised, to say the least, because I knew he was behind bars. But when he sent me that message, first of all, I thought he's messaging me from prison. But then he told me no, he was released. And then and that led to a full conversation. We FaceTimed, we got caught up, and I told him, man, I told him about this podcast, and I said I would love to have you on if you don't mind. And of course, he was more than happy to. First of all, tell us about this beard, man. This beard game is going strong. How long you been growing this thing?
This particular beard has been growing about a year and a half. Now, I had one before that I had grown out for 8 years, and I cut it off. And I cut it off because I was going up for parole, and I didn't want to walk in there looking like a terrorist. So
Hold on.
I cut it
How
off.
how long did that beard get to in 8 years? You didn't touch it at all for eight
I didn't
years?
touch it at all. And
Oh
it
my
grew
god.
all the way down to my waist. It was longer than the hair I have on top of my head.
To your waist. Wow.
Yes. It was literally down past my belly button.
Oh man. and you're not a short man, so that's a long
That's
beard.
right.
Your upper torso is pretty long. It's the size of most of some people's heights. So how tall are you again? You're what?
6 foot 6 inches.
6 foot 6 inches, man. That's crazy. We used to hoop, and I was like not even 5'7" yet. And I was trying to get past this guy, and I was getting swatted at every opportunity. But anyway, I would have done the same thing if the tables were turned. So man, 8 years. So then you go into parole, and so you shave the whole thing off, or you just make it
No,
short?
yeah, no, I shaved it all the way down, like
How
all the way down to a goatee.
how did that feel? Like, did you feel naked?
I felt very, very naked. It just felt totally different.
Oh my god, yeah. I feel like the wind even hitting your face will feel different at that point.
Yo, listen, I had not felt the wind like actually on my skin for almost 7 years
Oh
on
my.
any of my chin. So yeah, it felt very, very different. Yes.
Yeah. That's gotta be. That's gotta be. Wow. So then this one, the new rendition of the beard is about a year. You said year and a half.
About a year and a half.
Wow. All right, man. And I like how you've rolled.
Yeah, braided it up.
Yeah, I like it, man. That's
You got to
cool.
keep it out of the food and whatnot.
That would definitely not look good at all on me, but you can rock it just fine. Man, you recall Anush growing the beard back in the day? He used to
I
grow
do a
it.
little bit,
He
yes.
grew that thing out, man, over the years. He did the same, and his did look like a terrorist.
Oh wow.
But anyway, I'm just messing. Anush, we love you, man. Um, all right, so let's get into uh the unfortunate incidents of 2004. And this is again after I had left Maryland. I got shipped west. I was living in California, where I'm at now. Um, so you've told me this story, but if you don't mind, go ahead and share it again for the audience. What went down? What led to the incident?
Absolutely. So my niece, a little bit over 4 years old, was molested by a man my sister had been living with another friend of both of theirs. So
Okay.
she called the police, was going to let them do their investigating and all that. And but she had some belongings at this second friend's house or apartment that she wanted to get. So we called him. Well, she called him and made sure that the guy who molested her daughter wouldn't be there, so it would be okay for us to come pick up her stuff and get out of there and not be in anybody's way.
Yeah.
So we're over there. We've got most of it. So we got our TV, uh, um, a table, a glass table. We got the frame for the glass table, but not the glass itself. And there was one other thing that we had to pick up: the glass, and I can't forget what the last thing was, but that was all that was left. So we were going in there to pick that stuff up. Actually, my brother was there too. Um, so when we go in there to get the glass table, the guy comes walking out the back bedroom, like he's been there the whole time. And man, I know in the back of my mind, I'm like, let it go. But seeing him, no man, I lost my mind. I started beating. I jumped smooth on him, punched him right in his face, jumped on top of him, was
Yeah.
beating him down. And, so his friend, of course, tried to help him out, pulled his gun out, shot me in my right flank. I got real lucky because it was a through and through, went straight through. Didn't hit any vital organs, didn't hit any bones, went straight through. But I actually got lucky on two accounts because the gun jammed up the first time he shot it.
Yeah.
So when he shot me, I jumped off the guy and went for the gun, of course, because I don't want to get shot again. I don't know. As of right now, I don't know that it's jammed. I'm thinking he can shoot me again if he wants to.
Right.
So as we're tussling, I see him kind of fiddling with the gun a little bit. That's when I noticed that it was jammed. So now I'm really trying to get it from him because I really don't want him to use it again. But he gets it unjammed. So now we're it's waving around a little bit. And the other guy, the molester, he's starting to get up. So he pulls the trigger. I pull the trigger. I forget who had their finger on the actual trigger. But anyway, the
You were
molester,
tussling, right? Because you
right,
were
we're tussling.
tussling.
We're
Yeah.
going back and forth. Both of us is trying to get this to be in control of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So the gun gets fired, and the molester he catches it right in the forehead.
Oh,
Like, yeah, I mean, because
yeah.
we're all right there grouped in, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he basically dies instantly.
Yeah.
Um, now I'm still wrestling with the guy again because I see what just happened to him, and I definitely don't want that to happen to me. So
Right.
I finally get it from him, and I takes it from him. So now he's of course he's scared, so he jumps up, he starts running.
Yeah.
So I pointed at him, pull the trigger, goes off one more time. I barely miss him, but he gets away. He runs out the door. So after that, me and my sister and my brother, we jump in the little U-Haul truck that we had rented, and we go on to the hospital. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um. So before all of this incident occurred, um, this molester, um, when he committed his crime initially to your niece, did were did cops get involved then before even this even went down? Like, did anybody think to let authorities know about what had happened?
Like I said, all I know is that my sister, she told me that she either, I can't remember specifically which one, she either
Oh
she
yeah.
either had contacted the police or was about to,
Okay,
one of the others. So
I see.
like I
So
said, we were gonna let the proper channels be brought to
right,
bear on the situation. But
right.
seeing him and letting it
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
sight, out of mind, who right there
yeah,
in front of me, it's kind of a different thing.
yeah. I see. No, man, it 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 took over you, and what happened unfortunately happened. But so you go to the hospital, you get stitched up,
Yeah.
and then did the police come? So how did everything lead to your arrest?
Okay. So of course, the friend whose gun it was, he has to get medical help also. So we end up going into a hospital in DC. I think he ended up going to a hospital in Maryland.
Okay.
Anyway, in the middle of the night, um, I went to because they did the surgery or whatever, so I'm laying in the hospital bed. I wanted to get up to go use the bathroom, and I'm handcuffed to the bed.
You didn't
Yeah,
even know.
didn't even know.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's when I kind of figured, okay, I'm under arrest, but I still
Yeah.
need to use the bathroom. So the cop had to come in, take me to the bathroom to use the bathroom, and then handcuff me back to the bed.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
so I get
So
taken to the
yeah.
city jail. Now the DC city jail, they run their medical a little bit better than the Maryland County Jail, the PG County Jail. See, in the DC, they're every every shift they call you down. If if you have an injury like that, they call you down. They redress it, make sure it's not getting infected and stuff like that. There
Mhm.
was even the day they actually came and extradited me out to Maryland is the day that the DC jail would have taken my stitches out. Going to the Prince George's County Correctional Center,
Yeah.
yeah, they didn't do any of that. I still have the stitches in my side right now.
Did you mention it? What, or did you
Yeah,
didn't even? Yeah.
absolutely. I showed
Yeah.
them, the
Yeah.
everything. That's like, okay, we'll just, write a sick call slip to medical and they'll handle it. Medical
Did,
didn't see me for like almost a month.
oh my god. So
Yeah.
when they saw you, what happened? It was already too late.
Yeah, it was already too late. Skin had already grown over it.
Oh my goodness, man. And you still have them, right?
Yeah, I still have them in my side right now.
Wow. And the medicine luckily helped with
The
preventing.
infections and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Man, so all right, so then you have your trial, right? And then
Yeah.
you got convicted for 3 felonies, right?
Yes, three
Oh,
different felonies.
yeah.
I was initially indicted for first degree murder, uh, first degree assault, and use of a handgun and commission of a felony, and also actually conspiracy to commit murder. They actually tried to hit me with a conspiracy charge. Yes,
Okay.
it ended up being 9 counts in all, 2 conspiracy counts, the first-degree murder, second-degree murder, manslaughter, first-degree assault, second-degree assault, and 2 counts of use of a handgun, commission of a felony, and 2 conspiracy counts. So that's about, I think that's 9. I think that's 9. Yeah, so I got convicted of the manslaughter, the first-degree assault, and the use of a handgun in commission of a felony.
I see.
Now, with the manslaughter, it only carries a max of 10 years. So when I was convicted, when I went to sentencing, he gave me the whole 10 years on the manslaughter. Now, first-degree assault, ironically enough, carries 25 years.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I don't understand that. Like manslaughter is killing, right? So
right.
it's like, how does that have less time on it than
first-degree assault? Because first-degree assault is with intent.
Okay.
So the intent makes it more
punishable.
More punishable, right?
Okay. And how many years was it? 25?
25, but I only got sentenced to 10 out of that 25.
Okay.
Right.
So they cut you slack there. And then
yeah. And then the use of a handgun in commission of a felony, that carries 20 years. I also only got 10 out of that. Now, I only got 10 on each of these charges. So you would think, oh, he only got 10 years.
Yeah.
No. What happens is usually a judge, when something is the same crime, when it's all in the same incident, usually if you get convicted of multiple charges, they'll run those charges concurrent.
Got it.
But this time, I guess he felt some type of way about me not wanting to take the plea deal that they gave me. So
what was the plea deal?
The plea deal was for 30 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gave me 10, 10, and 10 and
same thing. It's the
random
same thing.
back to back.
Yeah.
It gave me 30 years anyway.
Oh, okay. So he reduced the manslaughter and first degree I'm sorry, not the manslaughter. He reduced the first degree assault to 10.
To 10.
And the weapon commissioning a weapon.
Use of a handgun and commission
use of a handgun. Yeah, my bad. I don't know these terms. But and so it reduced them to 10 all. So basically 10 years, 10 years, 10 years. So 30 years total you got sentenced to.
Yes.
And how long did the trial take all in all?
The trial itself, the actual trial itself only lasted for about 2 or 3 days.
Wow. So they heard all sides in 2 or 3 days, and
2 or 3 days is all it took.
And how long were you in jail until the trial?
I sat in the county jail for about, I want to say 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Before I actually went to trial. Then I had to wait like another 3 months, 2 or 3 months to actually get sentenced.
I see. So a year, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Did they credit you with that year or no?
Yes, they did. When he gave me my sentence, he said, "I'm gonna start your time from when you came into the Maryland system," which technically I was arrested on March 21st. Now, if you know, that's kind of a substantial date for us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the day of spring or Persian New Year or Baha'i New Year, as
Baha'i New Year, right?
You're referring to, yeah.
But I didn't actually hit the Maryland system till March 23rd. So that's when he started my time.
Okay. So, man, then from the county jail, did they send you somewhere else? Where did they send you?
Yes. So once you get sentenced, it usually takes about a couple weeks for all the processing and paperwork to get done. Then they do what we call send you up the road. That's where they send you actually into the prison system.
Right.
The first place you usually go is the place we call DOC. The initials for it are MRDCC, I believe. It's Maryland. What is that? It's Maryland Receiving Diagnostic and something center. I can't remember what the first C stands for.
Okay.
But that's where you go, and they figure out your security level. Like if you're gonna go to a maximum security prison, a medium security prison, or a minimum security prison. You know what I mean? They figure out what you're eligible for
Yeah.
and things like that.
And what'd you get?
So I got, and the woman was actually surprised. She's like, I don't know how you keep coming up so low, but she's like, you got an 8 on your security level. That's me. That's just over minimum actually. So I was slated for a medium security prison.
Okay. Okay.
And you can initially you can request for a place to go, but really you'll probably just get shipped out to wherever there's an open bed.
Okay. Did you make a request or no?
I made a request for Hagerstown
Okay.
because I made a first request for Hagerstown and a second request for the Eastern Shore because they both had college programs and I wanted to continue my learning.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
And were you? Did they grant you that one of those or no?
I went to ECI, the Eastern Shore.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, at least you had the opportunity here to continue further your education and
And
your
I did.
learning.
I took multiple community college courses when I was in ECI.
Excellent. Okay. Well, so let's get into now how many years would it have been total that you served?
I served a total of 17 years and hold on just a second. And 19 days, I believe.
17 years and 9. So just over 17 years.
Just over 17 years,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. All right. So okay, so now let's talk about those 17 years and 19 days. You spend the entire time at the Eastern Shore.
Almost the entire time. I spent that first year in
Right.
county. I spent
Right.
about 2 weeks in the diagnostic center,
Mm-hmm.
and I spent 13 years in the ECI Institute.
Okay. Okay.
Now around I want to say around May, I think, of 2018,
Mm-hmm.
I was transferred to the Jessup region because I wanted to be closer to home. Wanted my folks to be able to see me a little bit more
Now,
often.
okay, more often. I see. Yeah. So they
Right.
weren't able to see you as much.
No, it's a 3-hour drive one way out there.
Right. 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 So tell me, man. Once the crime had passed and you were in that uh, county jail, and eventually when you got your sentencing, and what was going through your mind when you got a 30-year stamp on you?
My initial thought was, my life is over.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have anything after this.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when you got so that was your initial thought. So how long until you started to see the light at the end of the tunnel with all of this?
I say because at first I was on, even in the county jail, I was on what you would call like a minimum security tier, right?
Yeah.
But once I got sentenced to my time, they moved me to a maximum security tier. Yeah, 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 because I had so much time. They didn't want because I guess it's the habit of certain people when they have time, man, to act out or whatever.
I see.
So they moved me to a maximum security tier, and I ended up in a cell with a guy who had been up the road before, and he asked me, how much time I had and what I was looking forward to, and I told him, and he was like, man, it's not that bad, in Maryland. Not all states actually have where you can earn good days on your time by working, staying out of trouble and stuff like that. Maryland is one of those states. He's like, man, it's not that bad, man. You can go up. You'll go up for parole about halfway, and after that, you and during that time you can continuously work it down, man. He said you probably won't do more than about 18 or 19 years, and then you'll be home. I was like, well, that ain't too bad.
Yeah. So
Still,
he gave you a little bit of hope.
yes, he gave me a little bit of hope.
Yeah. So first of all, explain what is like what creates a maximum security versus medium versus minimum, like.
Okay, a minimum security tier, you have a little bit more freedom. Um, if there's only one guard on a tier, they still let all of the cells out. The top tier and the bottom tier, they still let everybody out. On a medium, it depends on if it's the guard in charge that's there by himself. On a medium, if it's the guard that's in charge, then it'll let both tiers out. If it's the secondary guard though, because there's only 2 guards per tier.
Yeah.
If it's a secondary guard, he's not going to let everybody out. He's only going to let one tier out until the other guard gets back.
Okay.
From off his lunch break or whatever. On a maximum, there's only one tier out at a time. Period.
So it's about population control, essentially. How
Yeah,
many?
pretty much.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. So you got set to maximum for, and how long were you in maximum?
That was just in county. I was on a maximum security tier for about just a few weeks it took for them to send me up the road.
Got it. Okay. All right. So when you got sent up the road, so this is after you had the conversation with your cellmate who told you about the parole and all that.
Right.
When you got sent up to sent up the road, you went to a medium security. Medium security. And one cellmate did you have, or no cellmates? How did it work?
One cellmate. Cellmate.
Yeah.
Now over my 18 years, or excuse me, my 17 years, I've had approximately 50 to 60 different cell buddies.
How does that happen?
Well, people leave.
Right.
You change cells. You might know somebody, or you might get close to somebody that you like. You'll ask to get moved in a cell with them, so y'all can get along better. Listen, one thing you have to understand about prison: your cellmate is 90% of your bit, because that's where you're gonna be around for most of your bit. If you don't get along with your cell buddy, you're gonna have a bad bit. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Now, out of those,
when you say you're gonna have a bad bid, meaning like you're more prone to getting in trouble, or
depending on how bad your cell buddy is, yes. Because what you have to remember is, majority of the day you are locked in that cell with that person.
Man.
And if neither one of you have jobs, that's even more time you're in the cell together.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you got somebody
grinding, yeah, it could be
right. If you got somebody you don't get along with, I mean, on just maybe on a personality standpoint, y'all don't get along.
Yeah.
Y'all can deal with that. Y'all can give each other time in the cell and stuff. Stay away from each other as much as possible.
Yeah.
But if you got somebody in your cell that steals from you, or lies to you all the time, or just generally disrespects you,
yeah,
you got to either try and get out, or you probably gonna end up fighting them and going to lockup. Out of my 50 to 60 cell buddies, I probably had 2 cell buddies that I really didn't get along with, and luckily I didn't have to stay in the cell with them for that long.
Did you ever end up in lockup?
I ended up in lockup 2 times. The first time was because I was making wine. The first time.
Come on, Jason.
Hey, man. I was good at it.
Where'd you even get the grape?
Actually, they serve you oranges, grapefruits, sometimes raisins, especially during Ramadan. They give the Muslims raisins.
Okay.
So some of them I could buy their raisins off of them or whatnot. Sometimes they give us. You could get the plums off the diet trays.
Okay.
So all of that stuff is good for making jailhouse wine.
Yeah. All right. So you got in. How long did you get in lockup for that?
I got sentenced to 60 days, but they let me off after 30 because it was my first time.
And what does lockup entail? Is it
lockup is like jail in jail.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, you're by yourself, I'm assuming.
No, actually, I had a cell buddy in there too. Worst part is that was one of my worst cell buddies, was the cell buddy I had on lockup,
Oh,
which
snap.
makes it that much worse because on lockup, you have 23 hours in the cell and 1 hour out. So that means
Okay.
I'm in the cell with this guy. Listen, this is when I knew that I was evolving, because there were at least 3 times that I wanted to beat that man so bad he would they would have had to cart him out of there on a stretcher. There was at least 3 times I wanted to do it. But I was like, you know what? You only got 2 months of this. It's gonna
Yeah.
be all right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cool. You can't be messing up no more. You already on lockup. You can't be messing up no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be
At
chill
what
out.
point? At what point can they? When you go to lockup, does that affect your total time? Do they?
It can, depending on how serious a charge it was that sent you to lockup.
Got it.
Now, see,
Making wine,
with
is it that
me,
serious?
making wine isn't that bad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So really all they did was they gave me 60 days,
Yeah.
on lockup. Now I did lose my very good teacher's assistant job. I did lose that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But other than that, it didn't have any adverse effects.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, say you get to fighting, that's
Mm.
much more serious.
Yeah.
They can take what's known as good days, the days that you earn, and also the days that they give you when you first come into the system. They give you a certain amount of days when you first get there. Those are your good conduct credits, your good behavior credits.
Mm.
Those are the credits when you get to fighting and stuff.
Yeah.
They can take those credits back.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Right.
So your punishment on the winemaking, was it just solely the 60 days in lockup?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
it
you
was. Luck.
you got,
Good.
yeah.
You got
Your
lucky.
your
Got
your
real lucky.
punishment was having to deal with the cellmate there.
Yeah.
But but you grew in that process, you said.
Yes.
So you learned more patience, and you understood the bigger picture. What happened the second time you got into lockup?
Okay. The second time I got stabbed on the walk back from breakfast and had to defend myself.
Wait, okay,
So,
so what led to that even?
okay, at this time, this was closer towards the end. At this time, I was a clerk in the MCE office for the shop 106. That's the shop down ECI. MCE is Maryland Correctional Enterprises.
Okay.
That's actually one of the best jobs you can have in prison, for real. It's one of the best paying,
Wow.
and you get 10 days a month. So yeah.
Wow, okay.
And
So
I was a clerk too.
yeah.
So that ended up like I had to oversee jobs. I was the payroll clerk, so I had to make sure everybody got their money on time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and got the money they were supposed to get. You know, I had to oversee all the jobs in the sand pit and all the jobs in the upholstery. I had to make sure those jobs. I had to make sure materials was running right for those jobs. I had to make sure the orders was right, coloring and fabric patterns and all of that stuff. But it was like having a regular job, for real.
Right, right. So you're a clerk at this time. What year is this?
This
Roughly?
is between 2013 and 2018.
When you were a clerk. Got it.
Yes.
And
So
and the stabbing is about when?
it's about end of 2017, I believe, maybe
Okay.
early 18.
Okay.
No, end of 2017.
All right.
So what
tell
happened
us.
was
Yeah.
one of the guys in the upholstery department lost his job for some things that happened back on the tier.
Okay.
Right. So when he beat the ticket, he wrote to the plant manager, and he told him, I'm trying. I beat my ticket. I was falsely accused or whatever. I'm trying to come back and get my job back.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm the one that walked the letter into the plant manager.
Yeah.
So I said, man, this guy, he needs his job back. He beat his ticket. He wasn't supposed to lose his job. Yada, et cetera, et cetera. So the plant manager was like, now I'm not bringing a guy back that just stands around all day anyway. Right. So it's not my decision for him not to come back to work.
Right.
But he thinks somehow I'm stopping him from coming back to work. So he puts out a little hit on me or whatever, and it comes to nothing because the two guys that attempted to hit me
Yeah.
ended up not only getting beat down by me and my homeboy, they
Okay.
ended up with an extra year added to each one of their sentences
Because they initiated.
because they initiated it.
Yeah.
And all that happened to me was I was gone from the tier for a couple of weeks. Got all my property back, went back to work and everything.
And what happened to the dude who put the hit out on you?
He ended up getting hired back after I was on lockup. So it actually made it look like I did what he accused me of doing.
Even though it's not the case. So
No.
now, so how were you guys like near around each other after that? After
I
you're
mean,
out of
listen, I let bygones be bygones. He was mistaken about something. He did what he thought he had to do. I let
yeah.
that stuff go. I'm past that.
How is the idea of pride and ego carried within the yard? Like I'm talking about this instant because this makes me think about that because it seems like you let go. You said, okay, it was a misunderstanding, and yeah, even though you put out a hit, I'm gonna let it go. But is that the case for most of the inmates, or
It depends on your situation,
yeah,
your time, and your mindset.
yeah, yeah,
See, at this point, I have 15, 16 years in. I'm coming up for parole soon.
yeah,
If I do to you what you tried to have somebody do to me,
yeah,
it's going to ruin all of that.
yeah. I see. But when you're in the
I'm not,
beginning of your term, you're probably not
you might
thinking
not,
as
you might not think that straight.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
hold
yeah.
on, this guy just disrespected me. I
Right.
just got here. You know what? I need to prove to these dudes that I'm not to be messed with
Yeah.
and all of that.
Especially
So
because you're
yeah,
going to be there for years.
right.
So yeah, yeah, I got you. So yeah, it's not that easy to.
Plus,
So yeah,
when the guy stabbed me,
yeah,
people understood that I'm not big for nothing. Some people might think that you're big for nothing. They
yeah,
understood. They found out real quick that I wasn't big for nothing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but you're coming at it from I'm not going to mess with anyone unless I get messed with. That was your that was
Right.
your motto, especially
Right.
towards closer to you getting your parole.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you. Were you the how was there any other inmates in the yard that were taller than you?
There was no. I was the tallest inmate, but there was a officer that was 6'9", I believe. He
Oh
was the
man.
tallest person. Yes, he was the
Yeah.
tallest person on the compound.
Damn, yeah, that's crazy. That 6'9" is I mean, you're damn near 7 feet tall now.
Yeah.
Um okay, so your punishment for the second lockup was 2 weeks, you said.
2 weeks because I didn't initiate.
Yeah,
You know, I
yeah,
also didn't have a weapon on me.
right.
Thank goodness, because it was one of the few times that I actually didn't have a knife on
Well,
me.
that's good. Yeah. But hold on, they didn't connect though, right? On the stabbing?
They did. I have a mark on my back
Okay.
from when he first hit me, and the second guy, he tried to hit me in the mouth, but all he did, he nicked my chin a little bit. You can't see it now because
Yeah.
of the beard. There might not even be a mark there. I'm not even sure.
I see.
But yeah,
Okay. And they took care of it, and medical and stuff was good.
I
To,
mean, really, all I needed was like a band aid. It wasn't like they did anything
okay.
serious.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So,
Okay.
you know,
So these were the not so fun times.
not so fun
Not
times.
so fun times. Obviously, it's not fun to be being in prison. I'm sure, but there must be when you have to spend 17 years in behind bars. Your perspective
Changes.
has to change, right? It has to. And tell me about your mindset from year one up until you're 16, 17, and where like, I guess the, what do they call it, the peaks and valleys of your like behavior and your perspective and how you viewed things when from the beginning. And how old were you, by the way, when you got locked up initially?
I was locked up at 21 years old,
21 years old on
released at
Baha'i New Year.
38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What month did you get released, by the way?
I got released in April, this past April,
April, man. So almost, yeah, that is just over 17
just
years.
over
Yeah.
17
Yeah,
years.
right,
Yes.
right. So yeah, so tell me like how your mind grew and matured over the time there behind bars.
When I first went in, I said I had major anger management issues. And if nothing else, prison will force you to work on your anger management issues.
Mm.
Now, also, it solidified my work ethic. I had a pretty good work ethic before I got locked up.
Yeah.
After getting locked up, it just intensified because I put this about 2 weeks after I got to ECI, they gave me a job in the kitchen on the breakfast shift, no doubt.
Mm.
So I'm being woken up 3:30 in the morning to go help serve breakfast, and then I got to come back and serve lunch also. So I get up 3:30 in the morning, go serve breakfast. On every day, I'm coming back as soon as I can so I can get some more rest. But Monday was my day I had to stay back and help clean up the kitchen.
Okay.
Right. So I come back after serving breakfast, then I have to go back up there. So I come back around, I say 5 o'clock,
Mm.
5:30 maybe, 6 o'clock at the latest. I'm coming back to the tier getting some more sleep. Then around the tier I'm on, we had morning rec from 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I got to come out at 8 o'clock, braid somebody's hair because I know how to braid hair now.
Yeah.
Braid somebody's hair from 8 to 9 o'clock. Then at 9 o'clock, I got to go back to work and serve lunch.
Mm.
Then 12:30, I come back to the tier, take my shower, braid somebody else's hair till 3 o'clock lock in.
Yeah.
Right.
Man.
We locked in from 3 o'clock to about 6:30. During that time, we get dinner also.
Okay.
So 6:30, we come out. I'm out there. Guess what? Braiding somebody's hair all the way till we lock in
You had a program,
till
man. Yeah.
11 o'clock. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I'm shaking and moving, man. Hair braiding paid for my Game Boy, my first TV, my PlayStation 2, and my Xbox, and almost every game I had for each system.
Damn, man.
Yes.
Well, you applied what you were good at and you made it a business. You had your own
Yes.
business. That's cool, man.
Absolutely.
That's good. You made the most of that. That's great. PS2, man. I miss PS2.
Yeah.
Some dope ass games on PS2.
Yes.
So how many years did you spend doing that?
Okay, I only had to do that for, I say about 5 or 6 months because I got into the college program.
Uh-huh.
So I wasn't working in the kitchen anymore. And I'm
Right.
telling you, those days working in the kitchen and hair braiding all day,
Yeah.
that was tiring.
Yeah.
Like,
Of course.
you got to understand, I'm working on like 5 hours of sleep every day,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
less than that.
Yeah.
So,
So 7 months of that. And then,
yeah,
and well, you pay your dues, right? That's how you did it.
major dues, yeah.
Yeah. So you
So
did that.
once
Then you signed up for college classes.
signed up for college. Now, college is once a week, you know what I mean, for like an hour a night.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So what are you doing on the other times?
So now, you know what I mean, I'm even better at braiding hair. So I'm getting more people done a day,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, and I'm starting to take days off and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know. So I mean, I get to have my little I play dominoes, play cards, maybe watch a little TV or whatnot. So, you
Yeah.
know, it's going good. And
Yeah.
then I had met a guy, Christopher,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended up becoming close because of our love for Star Wars.
Okay.
And the librarian started getting more and more Star Wars novels in. And we would both read them. And like, I'm telling you, I would find a few, he would find a few. I'm like, yo, you got to read this one. He'd be like, yo, you got to read this one. Like, yeah.
So you
We learned
bonded over
so,
that. Yeah.
we really did. We ended up becoming cell buddies for a long time. We ended up becoming cell buddies for about 5 years.
Okay.
Cause let me see, 2005, because he got out in like 2011. So from like 2006 to like 2011, we were basically cell buddies. We were cell buddies for about 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, well, as you said, he was released in 11.
Well, yeah, he got his sentence overturned. I'm pretty sure he moved out to Nevada. So he's the only person that I have not been able to catch up with.
You're kidding me.
I am dead serious.
Wow. Dang. His sentence was overturned. Dang. That's a whole other podcast. Got to talk about how that happened. Okay, so you're just grinding and you're studying now. How many years were you studying in college and studying?
Okay, in college, that only lasted about, I think, a year and a half, maybe 2 years at the most. Okay. And luckily, because of how good I did in college, one of the teachers who taught one of the college classes, who did the course, she was one of the teachers for the GED classes in a school up there. So when the college ended, I guess they cut the funding for it or whatever.
Oh. She
said, man, I'd like to have you in as a teacher's aide, man. You know your stuff.
I see. And that's how you became. I see.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great. That's good, man. That's good. But that goes back to your work ethic, I believe. That goes back to, you kept your head down and as much as possible. and you just did what you needed to do. Did you attain a certificate or a degree of some sort?
I don't think so. I know I completed about 10 or 15 classes though, but I don't think I gotta do. It's just a bunch of general education classes.
Okay.
So I've been meaning to, and I still haven't done it, but I've been meaning to look into that and see exactly what all I can apply that to now that I'm out here.
Right. So let's go to the day you hear about your parole date and you hear about, okay, you're going to be released in April of 2021.
Oh my goodness. So when I was in 2018, around March of 2018, my case manager, she told me, okay, you have your initial parole date. You have your initial parole hearing coming up in December of 2018. No, I'm sorry, October of 2018. I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, that's a little early, but that's cool. Yeah. You know what? They'll probably postpone it so that it's right around my halfway mark, because my halfway mark would have been that next March of 2019.
I see.
Right.
Yeah.
So they do end up postponing it. But I got moved out of the jail that May. So now I'm up in the Jessup region. So I talked to the case manager up there. He's like, I don't see a hearing for you in October, but I do see one for you like in April of 2019. I was like, okay, cool. I knew they was gonna probably postpone it anyway.
Yeah.
That's right around the halfway mark. Fine. Yeah. Then I get transferred again. Like I was only in that prison because they moved me from ECI to MCIJ. I was only in MCIJ for 2 weeks. And then they moved me over to JCI. I did not like JCI. Terrible. Why? For someone, if you haven't already been there, it's very difficult to get a job. And just, it's also, the inmates up there have very easy access to outside drugs. And I wasn't really, I had moved past that in my life.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So plus they're smoking this new synthetic stuff, and it makes them act real crazy when they're on it. So I was like,
You
I
didn't
didn't
want
even
that.
like this. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't like the smell of that stuff or anything.
And how long were you
So
there?
I was there for about a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Okay. So does your uh
My
case
parole
manager keep?
hearing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when I get to that institute to JCI, I see my case, my third case manager now,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Yeah, no, there's not one in April, but you have one in December of 2019." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I checked back with her in a couple months, still in December. Check
Okay.
back with her in a couple months, still in December. So I'm like,
So
okay, they're gonna see me in December.
yeah.
Then I found out. See, at first I thought it was gonna be kind of like this over a computer or something,
Okay, I
because
see.
that's how they started doing them, because it allows them to do more in a less amount of time instead of having to bring somebody over to wherever they are, and all the transportation and whatnot. So
Right.
they so I thought it was going to be over a computer like this.
Yeah.
I found out it's going to be an open parole hearing. Now that's when the victim's family comes, my family comes, and I go there and sit right in front of two commissioners,
Yeah.
and have a back and forth, have a dialogue with them and all that. So when I found out what that was, that's when I decided to cut my beard off.
Right. So
Right.
you were you how were your nerves like, oh shit, I'm gonna be seeing this their family
No,
and
I did not get to see the family. The family did get to see me. They were in a room
oh
behind me when I
oh
was
okay.
in the room but I did not get to see them.
Right. But you
And
knew you had to put your best foot forward here.
my best foot forward. But yo, I was so nervous going in there.
I bet. Yeah.
So nervous. And
You cut your beard off though. You had the you had the
listen,
senses to do that.
and I don't know if it had an effect or not, but when all was said and done, they called me back in the room. They I guess they deliberated on whatever decision they were gonna make. They called me back in there. He told me, yeah, we're gonna give you an 18-month delayed release.
Which means
I almost started crying on the spot.
yeah, I'm sure. But tell me, 18-month delayed release.
Okay.
So how does it normally work when you are in that situation?
Okay. Now with parole,
Yeah,
you can either get an immediate release,
I see.
which is they let you go right now.
Yeah,
Like as soon as the paperwork is done, you're out the door.
yeah.
They can give you a delayed release.
Hmm.
Usually, when they give you a delayed release, it's for a specific reason. They have something that they want you to do. With me, they wanted me to have work release, right? So I could
Okay.
get used because I had been. I think it's because I had been locked up so long.
Hmm.
They wanted me to do work release so I could I could have a grasp of how the world works now.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because the world in 2004 versus 2021 is
Well, at that time it was 2019, and
2019.
it was before the outbreak,
Right.
was it? Yeah, it was before. Wait a minute, was it?
Because COVID-19 happened in like, I mean, it really escalated in the States and
In
like
20?
no, and well, yeah. And then, but it was late November 2019, right? That's when it
Right,
really took over.
right. That's
Yeah, yeah. That's why it's called COVID-19. But anyway,
right
so
because it started in 19, but it didn't really hit the states till like the early 2020s.
right, it
But
really
yeah, so
escalated. Yeah. So
right.
okay, so that was so this is your own theory on why they
This is
gave
my
you,
theory on why they gave me an
but
18-month delay
but they
release.
don't have to explain why,
They don't have to explain why. No,
right? And you didn't ask because
I
then
definitely did.
that's politics right
You're
there. But
letting me go.
yeah,
Cool. I'm not
yeah.
going to question that.
So 18-month delayed release. So at this point, this is December of 19.
December of 2019,
Right. And so 18 months later would make April of,
April of 2021.
and that luckily didn't change for anything. So
No,
yeah.
they gave me one stipulation. They said, don't get in any trouble.
Right.
Man, when I tell you, I dug into my cell like a tick. I didn't come out that cell except to eat,
Yeah.
exercise, and take a shower.
Yep.
That's the only reason I came out that cell. I was in there on my Xbox playing Skyrim and Mass Effect all the time.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, you're focused now. You have that's it, man. You got a goal. Woo. That's that what a I mean, yeah. So how did you communicate that to your brother, to your family, and
They
like
were
letting
there.
them
Well,
they
my
were there?
dad and mom were there.
Your
They
mom
were
and dad
there.
were there, right? Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, they must have been ecstatic.
Yes.
You couldn't see them either though, right?
No, I couldn't see them
Yeah,
either.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So man, and so now take me through your mindset leading up to April of 2021 because you're seeing it coming, right?
Okay. So after they give me my 18-month delayed release, my case manager calls me in about 3 or 4 weeks later, about a month later. She's like, okay, well, now you're eligible for a minimum security prison. So you got to sign
Yeah.
these papers, dealing with extradition if you walk off a job site or something. Because work release, you actually go out and get a regular job.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you work at like a Ruby Tuesdays or something like that.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So, I get to sign all these papers to make sure that you can go to minimum. In the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, everybody always told you, yo, don't go to minimum, don't sign the papers, don't go to minimum. I'm like, yo, you know what? They said they wanted me to get the work release. I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna get the work release. So I signed the papers. A couple weeks later, and now in minimum, you can't have a TV, can't have a game system because you're in a dorm setting. That means you're on a tier. Now you're not in a cell anymore with one other person. You're in a dorm with like 70 other people.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're supposed to have more freedom than you do in a medium security prison.
Yeah.
The place they sent me was not like that.
Oh.
Yes, they ran it like it was a maximum security prison, and I got there right before they shut the entire country down for COVID.
Wow.
So that means I can't get a job. I can't go for my work release. So now I'm just sitting, not doing anything.
Oh.
I was so upset.
Yeah.
Yo.
Did you look at it as a test or did you look at it as?
Oh, it was a super test.
Yeah.
It was a super test, man, because I had a good cell buddy.
Yeah. You were set up.
I was set up.
Yeah.
Had my. This thing's about to turn off.
The lighting here is even better. I like it. We should have done it here the whole time. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so let's resume for the audience members. We had a slight glitch. We're back. So you had a good setup. You signed the paperwork. They send you to a place that's nothing like minimum security should be. It's treated like maximum security. Right after you arrive, COVID hits, and now you can't work, and you're stuck. So how long did that take, and what did you tell yourself to get yourself through that test? Super test, as you mentioned.
Man, having to be around 70 different personalities on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
Extremely psychologically draining.
Right. So how did you? So what got you through that, and how long did that take?
Well, I was there for over a year, for about 13 months, from February to April, so about 14 months. I was there in the middle of it.
February of 20 till April of 2021.
21, yes. Right.
So the rest of your time spent was there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me, so you got yourself through that, but because you were telling me you were playing games the entire.
Yeah, listen, I found some Scrabble with some guys that played Scrabble.
Yeah.
I played Scrabble every day. Other than that, I was still doing my braiding hair, so I did that.
Yeah.
Okay, made a little pocket change.
Again, you made the best of it, and that's huge. That's huge. And one thing I'm learning from your journey here is your patience must be immense. Like the amount of patience you have to have, right? I mean, first world problem, all of that stuff is we're good, right? I can feel it just from you sharing. Okay, so April, what's the date on the release exactly? April
I
20,
was released on April 14th.
April
And this is
14th.
funny. Yes, this is funny because at first, oh no, okay, so with that, what happened was I didn't have a Maryland address. So I had to get a interstate compact with Washington, D.C. to come to Washington, D.C. for my parole.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
my dad, through the investigator for parole, you know, the guy come by, make sure the house is livable, make sure I can stay here, make sure there's nobody here with felonies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he tells my dad, yeah, I'm slated to be released on April 28th. So we're all of us are working on the mindset that I'm leaving. I'm coming home on the 28th. Even in there, I'm lining my days up.
Right.
Like I was gonna shut my hair shop down on April 20th.
Okay.
Because there was no point in having it open any longer than that.
Yeah.
Like if I do anybody here, they're not gonna be able to pay me because I'm not gonna be here.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Right.
There was only 2 people whose hair I was gonna do after the 20th because they had already paid me and they wanted to get their hair done right before I left so they could have it as fresh as they could for as long as they could.
Got it. Okay.
Because when I tell you, listen, I was one of the best guys that could braid hair in the prisons, man.
I believe it. So hold on. So what happens with April 14th then?
Check this out. So on April 13th, on April 12th, my case manager calls me down. Yeah, it's time for you to sign your release paperwork and stuff. You're going home on the 14th. I thought I was going home on the 28th.
Yeah.
No, you're going home on the 14th. So I go back to the tier. I'm like, yo, such and such, take your hair out and wash it. Yo, such and such, take your hair out and wash it.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, Taji, when you go to work tonight, make sure you let such and such and such and such over in building 4 know they got to meet me in the yard tomorrow morning. They got to get their hair done.
Right.
And make sure they have it washed and out and ready to go. Like, yo, I had to this when I tell you I had about 15 dudes' hair to do within a 2-day span and got it all done. I'm not playing.
Now, my whole thing with that is you're getting basically a 2-week break from right? You're getting a 2-week break, but what's running through your mind is, oh man, I got these things to do still. And I got to get them done. You're almost not even excited about those 2 weeks because you got so much more work you got to jam pack in these next 2 days. At what point are you saying, holy shit, I'm about to be out of here? Like, you finish these 15 clients, right? You finished their hairs. So what happens on the 15th one after you're done with them? Now you're like, okay.
After that, I'm going through all my stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I got like one dude on the tier who I really, really like.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving him like everything. I'm just walking over to his bunk with his arms full of stuff. Here you go. Boom. Here you go. Boom. Here you go. Boom. Here, take all this food. Take all these clothes. Take all these magazines.
Yeah.
Take all of it. You can have it.
Wow. Man. So then, I mean, it's adrenaline must be just, I mean, you feel like when you have to do it, you do it, right? When you got to get stuff done, you just get it done. You find a way. So you tell your friend, how do you communicate this? Because who's picking you up? How you
didn't tell anybody.
You thought to do it as a simple. Okay.
Check this out.
Okay.
Wanted to surprise them.
Okay.
Didn't tell anybody.
Yep.
I got lucky the day I was going to make my way back one way or another anyway, but I got lucky the day I got released.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it took me all the way back to the DOC in Baltimore. But the day I got released with somebody that was on my tier and we were cool. Wow. So, yeah. So he had his girlfriend drop me off at the Anne Arundel Mall.
Okay.
So I catch the free shuttle to the BWI airport.
Okay.
I get to the BWI airport. Now, when they release you, they give you $50 cash and they give you a check for whatever else was in your account when you left.
Okay.
So I take the $50 cash. When I hit the BWI airport, I buy me a train ticket down to DC.
Yeah.
I catch the MARC train all the way down to Union Station.
Yeah.
I hit Union Station. I get on the subway and take it up to Silver Spring Station. I get
Okay.
to Silver Spring Station. I hop on the bus. The same S2 is still running from 17 years ago. Stops right in front of my house.
Oh my God.
I get off the bus. I kiss the corner of the bricks as I go to climb the steps and come up and knock on the door and surprise my mom.
Damn, bro. That got me emotional. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Your mom sees you. What? I mean, I can only imagine.
Then I get her to call my dad and my sister and trick them into coming home like right now.
Damn.
And surprise them too.
Oh my God, dude. Ah, I mean, 17 years behind bars. They waited all those years, but those 2 weeks was like that. That was probably like such a great feeling for them. Oh
Yes.
my God, that's amazing. And how and little bro, where was he at this point?
Little bro has some issues that he's dealing with. I have not seen him since I've been home.
Okay, yeah. You mentioned that to me offline, and I wish him the best too. Hopefully, he gets his stuff straight too, so you guys can reunite. I mean, I kicked it with you and him all the time, and we had some good times. We played football,
Yes.
all of those times, man. So in a way, though, I feel like we just caught up from the time that from 2003 till now. I feel like I've learned about your life over the past 17 years, right? To that or 18 years. And I guess first of all, thank you so much for sharing all of that. I know you didn't have to, and for the fact that you are open enough to on this platform to share all of that. It means a lot. So I greatly appreciate you, and I greatly appreciate the amazing stories you've shared, the good and the bad. Um, I guess let's wrap it up on this. You're 38 now.
Yes.
You're working your ass off outside of prison. I've seen it because you're always telling me and you're posting about it. um,
Doing my best.
That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do. What do you have planned for the immediate future, if anything, other than working the way you have been? And also, what's the best advice you would give to young kids when they were 17 or 20 or 21 right now, and they could use some guidance from someone who's been there, who's seen it, who's survived it, who's come out of it, and who's turned the tide like yourself? What would you say?
The best advice I could give those young guys is to really look at who it is they have around them and if they really want this to be their future. Because what you want your future to be, you should surround yourself by it.
Yeah.
What you really want your future to be, surround yourself with people that emulate the future that you want to have.
Yeah.
Stop hanging around them guys that have that are going down to a dead end.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, surround yourself with the people. Just by being around those people that have the future that you would like to have, you're going to start thinking like them. You're going to start acting like them. Just
So
surround.
Yeah. So figure that future out. Figure out
Right.
what that future is for you. People who are listening, who, or if you may even know someone who could use this to help them right their ship. Figure out what you're passionate about, what you love, because that's all it comes down to, is what you love to do. If you could do it for free because you love it, I mean, look, Jason loves braiding hair. I bet he's going to do it outside of prison.
Listen, my sister's getting some business cards drawn up already.
There you go.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
and there's no business that's not good enough. Every business, if you're passionate about it, you make it a great business. That's what I've learned from my own experience in music. A lot of people said that's not a safe job to follow through. But hey, I am where I am now because of it. Let's just say that, right?
One more.
And yeah, go ahead.
Don't settle on one source of income.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Have
Also
multiple
true.
income.
That's right.
Because you know what can happen. One thing can dry up. And if that's your only thing you have to support yourself, then where are you? Don't settle for one source of income.
That's right. You need multiple sources. Doesn't mean you don't follow what you love. It means follow what you love, and the rest of it is because listen, we're young right now, right? 38 is still young.
Yes.
Absolutely still young. But God forbid, right? Something happens where it gets in the way of you being able to continue to doing one line of your jobs.
Right.
You're going to want to lean on the others. Anyway, that's a worst case scenario, and hopefully that doesn't happen. But like Jason said, multiple streams of income, set yourself up, and then surround yourself by people you want to be, you admire to be like, or you aspire to be like, sorry. And that's so important. I know you got some inks, and that was a great thing to see. When you told me about that, I could not believe that, my name lives on your body. And not just my name, a few of our mutual friends. When you were behind bars, you got some ink done, you put mine. Listen, it's a privilege for me to be
I got reduced times, man. I'm telling you.
I love you for that, man. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that, I know we exchanged a letter once during this time that you were behind bars, but I'm just happy, that you've learned from your mistake. You've learned, and you've learned to control the anger. You've grown immensely, and you're doing the right things now, and you're surrounding yourself by the people you want to be like. And I'm really happy for you, man, and I'm so happy to see you, being able to talk to you. I can't wait to see you in the flesh. Next time I'm out there, you better believe I'm calling you up, and we're getting together. I know you met up with some of our mutual friends already, and then that's great to see. But hey, any last things you want to mention? What your plans are coming up in 2022?
I don't know. I think I plan on finding a girl and marrying her. Maybe having some babies with her.
Hey, you better invite me to that wedding now.
Oh, absolutely. I'm pretty sure I already found her, though.
You're sure, or you're not sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really? Okay. So maybe when that chapter of your life is complete, we get you back on here, and we talk about that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
On a higher, lighter note. Hey, that's awesome, bro. I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you a fruitful remaining summer and remaining 2021 and beyond. So maybe we see you with the lucky misses here in the next year or so. Jason, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for getting on here. And I can't wait to see you in person, bro.
Can't wait myself.
Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome.
Together we'll purify the mind and have a good time. I'll showcase your